If I win a fight, it's by accident.
Have you been in a fight?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Well, sort of. Wait,
What do you
Give us a
mean?
story.
I was attacked on the subway, but I didn't do anything.
Wait, how long ago was this?
Last May.
I like that you said I
Whoa.
didn't do anything, as if we would have been like, well, were you asking for
Oh
it?
no, but I mean, like, I didn't fight back.
Okay.
But I also didn't do anything to.
You didn't start the fight.
No.
You didn't start the fire?
Yeah, I didn't start the fight. It's always been fighting since the world's been turning. But
A train, C train, on the train, Billy Joel.
We're gonna let's not get demonetized. Let's not because that's what happens on YouTube. If you do too much of a song, copyright comes in, and then they're like, no more money for you on this episode.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
On Shatha's episode, we sang all of Sarah McLachlan's "Arms of an Angel." Pretty much.
She doesn't count. She's
You're right. She's leased the song so many times. It's probably
exactly.
lost
It's public
financial
domain now.
meaning.
It's like Happy Birthday. You don't have to
And
pay
Shakespeare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shakespeare is really.
Shakespeare. All of Shakespeare's public domain.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense timeline wise, but I guess I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Who do you think would claim copyright or royalties on Shakespeare? Do you think there's anyone in the world?
Isn't Gwyneth Paltrow in that Shakespeare in Love movie?
Oh yeah,
She
she
is,
was.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
you
couldn't think
think
of who
Gwyneth
played
Paltrow-
Shakespeare in it.
But yeah, Joe Fiennes, Ray Fiennes' brother.
I don't even. I that's what I would know him as Ray Fiennes' brother. And
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Shakespeare.
He hasn't done. Oh no, he also did. He was about to be in a Michael Jackson movie playing Michael Jackson, but then like the internet was like, "This is a white dude. This is not okay." And then he was like, "I'm so sorry." And then and then it was scrapped.
Wow.
Yeah.
How were they gonna do a Michael Jackson movie with just a white guy?
It was gonna be.
It was gonna be post
when he was white. Well, when he looked obviously like when he was like
No,
much lighter skinned in his like later like the 90s plus.
And I get that. And I'm not denying that Michael Jackson looks a certain way towards the end of his life. But wouldn't you at least cast a black actor for the first part of the movie and then maybe do like a thing where you cast the younger version and then the older version?
Yeah. That's a tough one. That's really a tough. Who would you cast as like an older Michael Jackson?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think if you're gonna do like the wrong race, you have to go so wrong, like looking that it's like
Asian?
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like if you had
Just total wild card. Just like
if you had the guy that I forget his name, but the guy that played Sulu in
George Takei or
George
Stephen Yeun. That's Michael Jackson.
Or Gary
Bobby Lee is Michael Jackson.
Bobby Lee would be great.
He would be so good.
He would be. I mean, because he's a little heavier now. Just
Yeah.
a heavier Bobby Lee.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And they do nothing. He still has the mustache and the long hair. I think that'd be great.
That would be so good. I think he would. I think also I'm a big fan of like the Tiger Belly podcast, and they were talking about how he would genuinely be such an interesting Joe Exotic in like the movie.
Oh my God, he would.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
You got to do more wrong races, but are not white people.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree with you. Like,
That's exactly what Hollywood needs to do.
Pablo Escobar, Asian guy.
Yes.
Everyone just is an Asian guy.
I think
Played by Pat Morita. Like,
Yes.
I think that'd be great. Did that guy that was in like over 100 movies?
James Hong? Is it?
He was the host in the Seinfeld episode for the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. He
And
was also the dad in Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, and
That guy, I think his name is James Hong. I could be wrong, but I think that's his name.
I mean, that's kind of a wrong race thing because he's a person and everyone in Kung Fu Panda is animated.
Exactly.
So if you're
Cancel
talking
Kung Fu
about-
Panda.
I would have loved
Casting
it if they
humans.
just had the actual animals voiced over for the characters. Like it's clear they're saying and doing human-like things, but then an animal noise came out.
It's just munching on bamboo for Poe the entire movie with the English subtitles and all of the animated facial expressions.
They're still
but
moving their lips.
It's just munch, and then it just occasionally
Get an elephant in the booth. Why not?
I would love that. Great elephant.
And then the subtitles are like, "You've dishonored my family."
I want to know. You did 2 hand movements for the elephant.
Oh,
I want to know
penis.
what this.
It's the trunk and the penis.
The
That's what's
trunk
going
and the dick, baby.
2 trunks.
Hell yeah.
Same thing. I mean, Lukas knows.
I know the hard way. To great personal cost.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Two Nosy Meerkats.
Welcome to Two Nosy Meerkats, everyone. Today we have an amazing guest.
A spectacular comedian has appeared on Stephen Colbert, I believe. Yes. Please give a round of applause for the great, powerful, and talented Stephen Rogers.
God.
Stephen Rogers!
Thank you.
What is up, dude?
Not much.
Well, first off, have you taken a sip of
I haven't taken a sip of this.
All right, so
what is this?
This is elderflower juice, so it's like cordial mixed in water. That's how you make it.
What's cordial?
Cordial is basically just juice
It's when
concentrate.
you're polite,
Yes.
bro.
Exactly. It's juice concentrate that cares about manners. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Uh,
But yeah, no. So I made Steven some. He's never had some.
It's
so
a fancy drink.
a
Also,
very
I want to
fancy
clarify,
drink.
Lukas didn't make it.
so you say make, and that made me uncomfortable because I don't want you to
Yes.
make anything for me.
yeah,
So
I can
I'm
see-
saying over and over again, don't make anything. And
I'm mixed. That's at best what I can say is I mixed it.
okay.
So now, would you like
All right,
to
I will
try
take
it?
a sip.
Okay.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Yay! In that case, he made it.
Yes.
Did you make it?
Hell
you
yeah.
have to make it.
Hell yeah. Yes. I'm under oath, and I'm saying this is the truth. I made it.
I'm telling you, he squeezed the elderflower.
Exactly.
I don't like this if this is a bit. Is this
No.
a bit?
No. You see, their elderflower has udders, and what you gotta do is you gotta squeeze them like that. You gotta go in turn. You can't go at the same time.
And you have to squeeze them right, otherwise they become younger flowers. And that can't be...
I didn't know you could squeeze something so hard it de-ages.
Yes.
Yes.
Ever seen, what's it called?
That's how I have such young looking skin. It's because I get squeezed the right way.
What's that movie where the witch wants to be young? I guess that's all of them.
Hocus Pocus?
Witches are always
They
trying
try
to
to
be
stay
younger.
young, don't they? Isn't that part of it?
Hocus Pocus is one of them. I'm thinking maybe Into the Woods. It's a show, not a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of like witches
All
and
the
stuff.
witches are trying to be younger.
Yeah, all witches, they have like a spell or a potion that like keeps them young, and if they don't get it, they get old. And
No witch is ever stirring face cream.
You're right.
yeah, wrong kind of potion.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why witch stories maybe took place in like older
Witches
eras.
walked so Korean skincare could run.
Well, it's like nowadays people just have Botox. You wouldn't have to
Yeah,
cast a
exactly.
That's why all the
spell.
witches are white.
Ooh, true. Because black don't crack.
Exactly.
I was going off the Koreans.
Oh, yeah.
But that, yes,
That is also true. Yeah,
that is true.
Korean don't.
Oh my
Please-
God!
Please rhyme it. Please rhyme it.
Please. Oh wait, just take a second to think. But please go on.
Korean don't be screaming about wrinkles.
I love it.
There we
I
go.
love that.
There we go.
There's one we can get
Yeah, I
behind.
can't clap
Hispanic
with
don't
the flower.
panic
Hey, all right.
about
Okay.
worry lines.
There we go. About crow's feet. Yeah.
About crow's feet.
Yeah.
Keep going, please.
Yeah.
White is not right because they age.
That's often.
Swedish don't fetish unhealthy expectations for aging.
Ooh.
Jamaican don't be bacon. All right.
Bacon. Oh, wait, no, finish
I
it.
got
No,
nothing.
there's
No,
something there. There's something there.
there's
Keep
something
going.
there.
Keep going.
Go,
Keep
go,
going.
In
go,
the sun. I don't know.
Yes.
There you go. That's
Queer
nothing.
don't smear
clear. Don't. Okay.
their faces.
With.
my
With-
favorite thing is what you say after the rhyme is done.
Yeah.
It always has to be modified. Gay don't play with their facial routine
Oh my.
because
God.
if they did, it would not be as successful as they would like.
Got nothing.
It's-
I got
Yeah,
nothing to
yeah.
add. That's just we hit the pinnacle. I think.
I've been in my head since I said Jamaican. So
Yeah.
Love that you can acknowledge when you're in your head.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm very outspoken about when I'm uncomfortable.
do you feel like, is that an issue for you? Like being in your head too much? What's going on?
Oh, it's not an issue. I'm very good at it. But yeah, I'm in my head a lot for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Once I got in here, I was like in my head that I have a thing about being a burden.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm constantly worried about being a burden.
I do too, for sure. Do you have like a memory of that first being a thought for you?
No, but I don't know when it started. I think I've always been that way. But I remember I went to therapy. The first time I went to therapy, the therapist talked to me for maybe 2 minutes, and he was like, "Oh, you're worried about being a burden."
Oh, that's good.
And then I remember he was like, "By the way, I charge this much, but we can make it less if that's not good for you." And I paid the full amount, even though it was not good for me because I didn't want to be a burden.
Do you think? Okay, wait. Do you think that your therapist has like a tactic for getting the most money out of every single client based on their insecurities?
He might. He's like, "Oh, you're OCD, all right." So
he knows what to say so that
you have to pay me 3 times.
Exactly. Damn.
Narcissistic personality disorder? Okay, we'll make it like you're paying yourself.
Yeah.
Make the check out to you.
Yeah.
But
Oh
then
my
cash
God.
it and give it to
Wink,
me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of your material is about like struggling with anxiety, but I think it's kind of a cool thing that you can just know when you're in your head.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes, like I have anxiety too,
Yeah.
but I'm not always fully aware of when I'm in my head. It sometimes takes someone else being like, I think you're in your head right now, to be like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, maybe I am in my head.
Well, I feel like being present is the best thing ever.
Of course.
I'm obsessed with stand-up, as most of us are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best you are on stage, is when you're
Yes.
not thinking about it and you're just doing it.
Yep.
A conversation is the best when you're being present, because if you don't, it's easy to find when people aren't being present when you're talking to them, and then that's rude.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it too. Is I don't want to be rude. I hate being. I don't ever want to be wrong. Not because I always want to be right. I just don't want to be rude.
Yes.
So I'm fine with being wrong. I just don't want to be rude. So it's like that's why I'm present in a conversation, is for the other people. I'm very much for other people and not myself.
I'm very similar in that growing up, I was terrified of being rude.
Yeah.
Do you have like a first memory where you were like punished for being rude? Because I have a very clear memory of like, not necessarily the first time, but one of the most memorable times that like someone got mad at me for being rude, and it just made such a big imprint on me.
Yes.
Go for it.
My parents are wonderful people and taught me just by example as far as being polite. And then this time, my parents, for a little backstory, worked and met each other working at a pizza place.
That's are you
Yeah.
Italian?
I am Italian, but I'm also. But
I don't mean a stereotype.
No, you're fine.
I do. So
It's actually killing me that I can only talk with this hand.
You can put it down. You don't need to like finish it on camera.
No,
It's the power
You
of
can
the
put it down.
elderflower drink. It neutralizes the Italian in you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to keep them under control. So
I'm Irish, Italian, and English, and all of those are guilty.
Yes.
Stereotyped as guilty people.
All influenced by
Okay.
Catholicism, I think.
Yes.
That's why. Although not the English. What are the English?
C of E, Church of England, Anglican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're guilty because didn't King Henry like do the divorce, and that's like.
Yeah. No, I would say that the English, because I'm also English, and I would say it's really a thing for the English to be polite. That's a very, very it's
Etiquette.
Etiquette is huge.
Yeah.
And being put like so. But please continue. Before I say like my first, please continue yours. Yeah.
So I remember we ordered pizza, and I had either my cousin over, a friend, somebody was over, and the doorbell went off, or there was a knock at the door, and I went, "Oh, the pizza boy's here," and I didn't mean anything by it, but my dad was like, "They're not don't they're not a boy. Don't diminish them with like that or something like that. I just remember I said it wrong, didn't mean anything by it, but I was like, oh yeah, you gotta respect even strangers that are bringing you food to your house.
Right. Yeah.
And that I didn't get punished too much from it, but just that reaction of my dad being like, no, he's a guy. Or, a man. I don't know if anybody says pizza man.
Yeah.
But
the pizza man.
I am
is
pizza
here.
man.
the pizza gentleman is here. The
Pizza Lord. Hi, I am the Pizza Lord. Pay me.
It'd be funny if you were like, hello, pizza boy, and then he made that voice.
Hi, 2250. Thank you.
I am the pizza boy. Yeah, that was mine. What was yours?
Oh, for me, it was I was visiting a cousin of my dad's in California, in San Francisco, and I was 10 years old. And this cousin of my dad's, she had these glasses that made her eyes look really, really big.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
love where this is going.
Yeah.
And as soon as she opened the door and said hello, I was like, "Hi, whoa, your eyes look big." I was, and she was just like, "Yeah, they do."
Oh, wow.
That's
She
worse
took
than
it
the
great.
pizza boy thing,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I shouldn't have said that. It's now I know not to say such things,
Right.
but I did in the moment. And
It's funny because every time I walk in the door, you're like, Gabby, your tits. It's so weird that you never learned.
Your
Oing,
face
oing,
turns
oing,
into a
oing.
dog and the tongue comes out.
Like the cartoon.
Yeah.
yeah. So I tried to motorboat her eyes.
As you do.
Yeah, as I do, and
You
so
flick the pupils. All right, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. That was good. And it's true. He
It's
did
what
it.
you do.
Yeah,
He flicked
yeah.
the pupils.
I did. I was
And she
attending,
liked it.
and she asked for it. She gave consent.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
You could tell she was cold because her eyes got further out. All right.
Diluted, yeah.
Yeah, diluted. There we go.
That's
Or
how you
was
get
it
the eyes to
dilated?
shrink
Not
again.
diluted. Diluted is sad. Diluted is like her eyes sunk back
Oh,
in,
yeah.
and that would be horrible. They dilated. Her eyes dilated.
Yeah.
She was freezing.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And that
okay.
was when you realized you were rude because you turned her on
Yeah.
too much.
And that's when I realized I was a sexual being.
Yeah.
So I blurted that out, and she took it like so well. She was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's a kid's just saying something." But my mom pulled me aside, and I remember she like held me by my like shirt or my shoulder. It was like something like this, and she was like, "I cannot believe you just said that to someone. I cannot believe how rude you are. I'm embarrassed to be your." She was like, and it was just so intense that I was literally just shaking.
Oh my god.
With fear, and then I was just silent the rest of the. I was
Yeah.
silent for the rest of the day. I was so scared to speak, and it stuck with me really.
Wow.
It was it was intense.
Do you have one?
I do have one.
Go
But
for it.
It's
Share circle.
I think I deserved what I got.
Okay.
Oh
story.
boy, we went in the right order. I
we
can
did.
already tell.
This is good,
We went
yeah.
in the right order.
All right.
I was in 4th grade and I was on the playground at recess, and these 2 girls were, in recess it's crowded. Everyone's running around.
Right.
And I had to get where I needed to go. I don't remember where I needed to go.
Okay.
But
You had it. You had
But I had
appointments.
a destination. I had appointments. Yeah, I had a lot to do. I had to go to the DMV, change my license, get out of there, and just drive. So I'm like walking down the way or whatever, and these 2 girls were playing like patty cake or something. And I remember I just walked through their game.
Wow.
Whoa! Can I just say the balls? I never would have had the balls to do that. I'm impressed.
Wow.
Because I kind of just thought they would just resume. I'd be like,
Right.
that's weird.
Yeah.
You just resume. But then this girl, Ashley, came up to me and was like, that was so rude. We were playing and you just walked through this game. See, Gabrielle, because at the time everyone called me Gabrielle. She's like, see, Gabrielle, this is why I want nothing to do with you.
Oh my god.
And I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
The punishment didn't fit the crime because I
No.
still think about it and I'm like, was this something she'd built up inside of her? Because I had not really spoken to her until that day. So I don't think
this sounds like something that was like building and festering inside her.
Was she just staring at me
idea of
every
you.
day? Like
This
the first
fucking
day she
woman.
met me, she was like, maybe I want something to do with her. Gradually, as she
You
went on.
solidified.
I want this person in my life negatively. Just like, yeah.
She's gonna matter to my life someday. I've never seen her again since 4th grade.
Wow.
But I'm now very aware to never walk through someone's game of patty cake ever again.
As you come across many times a day is.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I see people.
Every
walk
day you just see, and you're just like, oh, not again.
I'm not falling
I've
for
been
that
down
again.
this road, buckaroo.
Yeah. I hate it when I'm about to go in the bank and in the doorway are people playing patty cake.
The
Yeah.
tellers are playing patty cake.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't interrupt them.
I'll
Yeah,
come back
exactly.
tomorrow.
You like have exactly 1 hour before you have to get to the next thing, but they just won't
Yeah.
stop playing.
But they
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
bake me a cake as fast as they can,
Yeah.
I can't interrupt that.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
That gave me an adrenaline rush.
I know. What
I
was her
felt it.
fucking deal? I'm sorry, but also what was my deal?
I agree to both things.
I'm
Yes.
trying to think like
Wait, hers
if
is more.
I'm trying to think if I were in her position, how I would have approached you, if at all, to voice my grievances.
I would have never said anything. I would have been like, "That's weird." And
Would you
not
have said anything?
about it.
No.
Of course not.
I wouldn't have done either thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And my reason is confidence. Like I wouldn't have. You had I envy your confidence to
I do
walk
too.
through
But
that.
that's why I have anxiety now, because I had too much confidence growing up.
Sure.
You know,
Ah, yeah.
I
Right.
think.
So you
And
gotta
now it's a
atone
quest
for
to
that
get.
confidence you
I've
had
got
too
to
young.
atone. Yeah,
Yes.
I've got to
Wow.
whip myself into shape.
I remember one of the only times that I actually was kind of confident as a kid was that I was getting ready to do like a music recital in like third
Ooh.
grade, like 3rd or 4th grade. And we were like preparing to go on in the gym, and I was playing the trumpet, and I had my trumpet case. And this girl tried to put her feet up, just to like put up her feet on the case. She was sitting on her chair like a couple feet away from me, and she was reaching with her legs to put, and I immediately just pulled it away. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then she was like, put it back. And I was like, no. And she was like, I was like, no. I was like, I know you don't get to do this. This is my case. What the?
Yeah.
I was
Hell
so
yeah.
bewildered that she felt entitled
Yeah.
to put, I think it came from her name. Her name was Sparkle.
By birth?
Yeah, that was her name. It was, I think I still have my elementary school yearbook, and she's in it. Yeah. Her name was Sparkle.
No, there's
God.
no way her birth name was Sparkle.
Oh, can I tell you funniest like name? I was swiping through on Bumble like a few months ago, and I saw a woman whose name was Regular.
Wow.
I don't believe her.
I took a fucking screenshot,
Yeah,
and I
of
can
course.
show it to you afterwards.
I love that name. That name means she's gonna succeed in life.
Yeah, you gotta have confidence to make it this far with the name Regular.
Yeah. The only person that's gonna succeed more than her is whoever names their kid Loser.
Explain.
Wait, can I just say, forgive me.
That
forgive me.
better not be a real name.
I saw a documentary on Netflix about Hasidic Jews that have left
Right.
Hasidim. One of them, his name was Loser. Not an English spelling,
Right.
Luzer.
Luzer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it was spelled. His name was Loser, though.
That's why he left. He was named that.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to be a part of a religion where this is my name.
This is the name they give me in this community.
I thought we were the chosen ones.
Yeah.
In Reform Judaism, they call
Yeah.
me Winner. So
What the hell?
wait, why do you think a kid named Loser does well in life? Because nobody expects
Yeah,
them to
yeah,
be a
yeah.
loser.
Yeah, they got to beat their name.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
So there's just a
built-in
fire under their
motivation.
ass. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about motivation, finding your motivation in life. You know, some people, they just walk, they're just sort of like ambling their way through the world because they've born into success maybe.
Yeah.
But if your name is Loser, you're already thrown in at the deep end. You got to fight. You got to swim.
Oh yeah.
You gotta-
The more you get kicked, I feel like the more you can develop that thick skin.
Absolutely.
Or you can be like, I hate being kicked and I deserve to be kicked.
Or you could
and-
just give
Yeah.
in to despair.
Yeah.
Or you could
yeah.
just change your whole self.
Or the name.
Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Plenty of people change their names, or plenty of people just pretend that their names aren't their names. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember?
That was great.
Thank you.
That's
Isn't he sweet?
you guys are a great team.
He does all the work. And I help.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
No.
It's like when like you're making a cake and like a kid is like, and I helped.
Oh, yeah.
I whisked once.
Don't
Yeah.
I have I helped energy though?
You do have I helped energy.
I
You do help. You do a lot. You know, you collect. You're putting together a Discord for other people.
Discord. We're gonna do it.
We're putting
gonna
together
do
a
it.
Discord. You collect the listener submissions. You do a lot on sort of like the front facing end
Yes.
of the podcast. You do yes.
Have you ever? Do you know about Discord?
I have been on Discord once.
When was this?
For somebody else's thing.
It's like Slack for kids.
Oh boy.
That's the best.
I don't know what Slack is.
Slack is like it's a messaging board app, but for jobs and
okay.
employees and stuff for them
Steven's
to
like,
talk about
I
work.
am a professional comedian. You
Yeah.
think
But
I
the
know
prob-
about office stuff?
No,
Yeah.
like the problem with being a comedian is I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about right now.
Right.
And then that makes me be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
is Discord again?
Discord, it's basically it's an app where basically you can create sort of a chat room dedicated to different subjects, like
Yeah.
different like
We're gonna
creators
sound like
or
such boomers.
Yeah,
describing
yeah.
I
this.
can't wait.
It's basically like they have robots that you can program into the. I went down a rabbit hole trying to figure this shit out, and like
it's very
it's very difficult. They have robots that like are moderators and that can auto announce stuff for you.
It's basically modern chat rooms.
You can
Wow.
use your
Based on-
voice.
yeah.
You can write a text. Long gone, Steven.
You can make your own like gifs and emoji responses and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
you can choose them or you can make your own.
yeah.
Long
Wow.
gone are the days of the T9 keyboard. Long gone. Kids
Wow.
will never understand.
Yeah. They never have to go through AIM. Yeah.
God, AIM.
Were you an AIM guy?
What was
was
your
an AIM.
username?
I had so many. I had what was that? I remember before I was even close to doing stand up, one of them was Comedian Steve.
Yeah.
I hate
That's nice.
I guess, but it's
Wait, how old were you at this
embarrassing.
time when you
I
said
was
that?
teenager for sure.
Okay.
Maybe let's say 14. I don't know.
14. Okay.
Were
Yeah.
you like a class funny guy at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I
well,
did
that's
not
good.
win class clown, which
Who won class clown? And where
his
is-
name's Corbin
Where's he
Gaps.
now?
Corbin Blue.
Love Corbin Blue. Shout out to Corbin Blue.
What a zany dude.
But he has since messaged me. He found my Colbert or something.
Whoa.
And said, "Hey, this is so awesome. I think you're really funny.
You should have won.
Keep
That's
up the
great.
good work." And that was the win for me. I was
Nice.
like,
That's the
yeah.
win.
That's nice. That's really good.
Yeah, that was cool.
Is he a comic now?
No,
Yeah.
What does he do? Did he say? Or?
I don't remember what he does. I think he makes way more money than me, and we both won. You know,
Yeah.
I won the yearbook thing 10 years later.
Hell yeah.
And he is making money.
That's
Yeah.
so wholesome.
I like
and now
it.
he's
Yeah.
just the funniest guy in his office, and
That's
good
true.
For him.
Yeah.
He's great. He was really funny, but
Yeah.
I was.
Were you
like,
two the only serious competitors, or were there other competitors?
I think there was other people in the running. I think I like anyone that's funny, so
Yeah.
I'm not competitive with it.
Do you
Sure.
remember? Do you remember like the first joke or thing that you tried to be funny with in class?
I remember I remember at one point in like third grade or something, the teacher was like, "Hey, we're just gonna put you in the center of the room and you can get all this out of you," because I was so like just
Okay.
jokey and whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember just being goofy and making them laugh. Like all of them were around me, and I don't remember what I did, but
That's incredible.
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. I had a weird confidence with being funny. I knew I could make everybody laugh in elementary school, and now as I
Nice.
get older, I have less and less self-esteem.
I mean, you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Sure.
I found like my sort of like ability to be funny in school. It was actually later on. It was in high school that I actually started actively trying to be like
Right.
funny. Yeah.
Were
I
you
remem-
guys class clowns?
What were you?
attempted and failed. I don't think I really channeled myself as a person who was funny until I stopped taking myself seriously, if that makes sense.
Right.
I still have an issue with that.
I wanted to be funny, but I also wanted to be like an actress, and I wanted to be smart, and I wanted to be athletic. You can't be all those things and be funny.
Oh.
I can.
But I shouldn't project.
Yeah, sorry. I do remember when I was in high school, I remember one time my timing was perfect with something. I remember that I was it was pre-calc. And I had a teacher called Miss Goldman, and she was younger. She was like in her like mid-late 20s, and she had like a better relationship with students. She was like closer to our and she liked making like jokes with us and so on. And so there was this one time she was doing this big equation. It was just very long. It was like, all right, x squared plus like 2 in parenthesis n parenthesis x minus 2. And it was equal. And then she was, all right, a lot of things. And then she's like, what does that equal? And then immediately, and no, she was like, you do this, this, and then what do you get? And without missing a beat, I just said herpes.
Yeah, baby.
It was
That's
just perfect
great.
non sequitur, and it was timed exactly right when she stopped speaking that she just couldn't help but go like she just it was I got that out of her and I was like, yes.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was really proud of that one.
That's really good.
That's
It took pre-calc to calculate the timing.
Exactly. This is why you got to stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
There's a message in everything. That's what we're about.
I feel like now in grad school I'm funny in the classroom.
Yeah.
But it's again because I'm not like trying to be, intense about it. But also in my program we're at a point where we've all gotten to know each other, so that veneer of like your work is great but is gone.
Right.
And now we're just all like roasting the shit out of each other.
Oh, that's
good.
wonderful.
Like yesterday, this girl, she's writing a really awesome script about like female serial killers, and she said something like, there's a lot of misogyny in the system and female serial killers need to be taken seriously. There's a moment of silence where like we're all friends with her, but we didn't know if it was okay to like roast the shit out of her.
Right.
And then we all go, okay, girl boss. We all just lose our minds laughing. And then
Nice.
she was laughing and she loved it. And it was like a nice thing,
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Can I
awesome.
ask, did you go to college, and if so, what did you study?
I went to community college. I
Okay.
knew I wanted to be a comedian pretty young, and for some reason I thought I had to go to community college. I thought I had to have some sort of degree just to be like I did it. And in hindsight, I should have just went straight into stand-up. But I had majored in communications.
Okay.
And I thought that would help because there was public speaking and like studying people.
Yeah.
So that sort of made me feel safer and like
Nice.
being disciplined outside of school where it was so structured for you. I was easing out of that and trying to figure out how to do that for myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm curious. What was your first exposure to stand up that really made an impact on you and that made you go, "Oh, I'm really into this"?
Wendy Liebman's Comedy Central half hour. She are you guys familiar with?
I am
Yeah,
not.
I like her a lot. But
I
I've never
don't know
seen her
her.
Comedy Central half hour.
Oh, I'm sorry, HBO half hour.
So you just lied.
No, I think I said
He
it.
lied.
I said it, and
He
no,
lied, she believed. I've
was
never
my fault.
seen her half hour in any
It's
regard,
very
is what I'm
good.
saying. But I know of her.
Yeah.
I remember my parents watched. My dad is a super funny guy, and my mom is really funny. But naturally, my dad is like a joke just funny conversation.
Like a storyteller
Yeah.
kind of?
Yeah, he's just goofy, and so they were both funny. And then I would watch them. I'd be with them when they watched comedy, and I would see stand up affect my parents, and they were, they're your world, and I'm like, oh, this thing is changing them entirely. It's changing their mood. It's making them pure bliss and everything. And like Dangerfield,
Yeah.
then Letterman stand-up spots. I was like, whatever the hell this is, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And that got me obsessed with late night.
Yeah.
And then it just domino effect. Jim Carrey movies, Sandler, and then Farley, and all that stuff. It just exploded. I became obsessed with it.
Right.
Did you ever want to write for late night, or were you more like, I definitely just want to do like spots on late night?
Spots on late night, but as I got older, I was like, I just love writing jokes.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I love that moment of discovery of hitting the spot. You're like, oh, I got it. I think I figured it out. This is a joke. That is very fun.
I like that too.
Yeah. It's so great.
Yeah.
And now it's like, and watching anybody do stand-up is just so fun. So I'm constantly in love with it.
I realized recently that a big part of like why I was interested in doing stand-up was it came from not like trying to be funny place, but just sort of this is gonna sound a little bit manipulative, but sort of having power over someone.
Oh,
It's specifically power over someone.
Lucas
like
is a
when I was a
gaslighter.
kid, I'm gaslighting. But like, here's the thing. So I remember when I found out I could make up something that sounded real enough that I could fool my dad.
Ooh.
And that was when I realized sort of like the craft of writing something and the craft of like creating something that held water, that sounded like, I remember, I'm trying to turn this into a bit, but like I remember when I think I mentioned this before to you, maybe on but like I told my dad, hey dad, did you know that Alfred Hitchcock was Jewish? And he was like, what? It was just, this was out of nowhere.
Right.
But I was like, yeah, he's Jewish. And my dad was like, no, he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he was just English, just British. And I was like, no, dad, you don't understand. His dad escaped the Cossacks in Russia and they changed their family name from Yitzhak or Isaac to Hitchcock. And my dad was like, whoa, is that real? And I was like, no.
You got him.
And he was like, why did you do this? I was like, I gotta go to school. But I remember just like the rush of that. I was like, I can do that to a grown up. And I was like,
you haven't mentioned this to me because when you said it, I was like, was he really?
Yeah. But doesn't that sound like kind of, And so
as soon as you said what their original last name was, I was like, that would have got me.
Exactly.
Yitzhak,
yeah. And so that's when I was sort of like understood, like even in a microcosm way, just like the power of storytelling.
Yeah.
Of just like creating, and so that was a big thing for me that I clung on to.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I feel like with it, is it kind of like when we got into like why we got into stand up? I feel like I watched a lot of This Embarrassing, but Last Comic Standing
that's not embarrassing.
With my parents, and I was like really young, and I didn't understand half of what anyone was saying. Right. It's a lot of like, I guess for television it had to be clean, but some of it wasn't clean, so like I didn't really understand what they were talking about. But when I did was always when those people went on to do really well in the competition, and it made me feel like the first time I watched Louis C.K., I was like 6, which was too young.
Whoa.
Or maybe I was older.
6?
Because I don't know when he really started, but I was too young to be watching what he was.
That would have been like the late 90s, I'm guessing.
That's fucked up.
Over 20 years ago, yeah. Well, yeah, around like 2000. Yeah,
It was around like the early 2000s was when I watched him for the first time.
Wow.
And it was his bit about
you were into people that done sexual assault before it was cool.
I really was. It was his bit about how he jerked off in front of all his women.
Exactly.
And I was like, that's awesome.
Classic.
Classic. It was, I mean, he's a terrible person, but this bit was great. And he was one of my first like influences. Like honestly, I loved him.
Full disclosure for me too, hugely.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah,
I loved him. But it was the one about how like you can't talk to a kid because they're just gonna talk about you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, sometimes dogs are brown.
Yes, I know that bit. No,
and I remember being a kid,
that,
and I should have been offended by that joke as a kid, but I was like, that's true, actually.
You know what's funny is I think I remember what special that's from. I think that was in 2007 when I would have been 12. So I think you would have been 14.
Is that Chewed Up?
No, I think that was Shameless.
Okay.
You know what's weird about childhood? For me, like the ages of like 6 to 12 to 14, they all blend together because I feel like I don't have a great memory.
Okay.
I felt like I was 6 when I was watching that. I really did. I was like, I must have been 6 years old.
I'm sorry, but never have I seen just a brick wall on your story. Yeah, okay.
You're like, you fucking liar, but I'm not, because I genuinely misremember these things. I feel like there are times where I think something happened when I was 10 and I was 8, or like when I was 4 and I was fucking 12. Like, there's just I don't
4 to
remember
12. I don't think I could do like 8 to 10. I could misremember that, but 4 to 12, that's a jump.
That's a long.
That's a big one.
For me, it's not a huge jump.
It's 8 years.
I think about baseball, right? Like baseball, the 1998 Yankees were around when I was 5. But I started getting into baseball when I was 12. So to me, the 1998 Yankees were around when I was 12. Shut up, you two. This is misogyny.
I know. I'm just listening to you.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm listening. I just don't know.
Women can.
You got a future in acting right there with that. What you just said, kid.
You're throwing a lot of numbers at me, and I'm getting confused.
It's like his pre-calc question.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Herpes.
Then you get herpes.
Oh my god.
Okay, I wasn't 6, but I could have been 6. You know, in my mind, I was like, maybe I was 6.
Yeah. I will say I have a little bit foggy memory of when the first time I ever saw stand up.
Yeah.
Because I know it was Robin Williams live on Broadway. It was a 2002 special, but I don't know when I actually saw it. Was it in 2003? Was it in 2002 when it came out? I don't remember that.
I don't understand, and this is a great example of it, why people want to know. Like, if you either of you tell me that story, and I go, oh, well, how old were you when this happened? Why do people have to know how old you were?
You're right.
Because then people do kind of like what's just happening. You're like, I think I was 6. I could have been,
or
and
maybe
it's like
25.
Yeah. It's like, what? Why does the age matter? This is outside of this.
Yeah.
But it's like when people do that, I do not understand.
I will.
that.
Okay. Well, I have a question. Is that have you looked up someone on Wikipedia?
Not in a long time.
But have you done it?
Yes.
What is the first thing you jump to when you go on someone's
Personal
Wikipedia?
life.
I do too.
Are they
Personal
gay?
life.
Personal life.
Why do we need to do that? I think it's genuinely like this podcast. We're nosy. I think that we are just fundamentally a little bit nosy. We want to know how old someone was when an event happened, when something influenced them, hit their psyche.
I thought you were going to say when I go on Wikipedia, the first thing I jump to is their age.
So did I.
I want to know how old they are.
Actually, I think I go to birthday.
I mean,
a
they're
lot.
Really?
There's no use. They're all lies.
Yeah. It's all
Celebrities are all lying about their age.
Yeah, fake news.
I have friends that have their own Wikipedia page because they're doing much better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Name drop. Let's go.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to avoid it, but
you don't have to. You don't have to.
But some of them, they're like, you bring up Wikipedia and they get outraged because they're like, there is a page where none of the information they have about me is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like that. I can't imagine. It's aggravating. So
But
that's
at
why
the
I
same
don't
time,
go to
it's
it.
very hard to edit a Wikipedia because
It is. Yeah.
there are people who every single day go on Wikipedia just to verify if they think something written on it is correct.
I remember I actually, there's a dude I went to high school with who's now a rapper, and he has a Wikipedia page, and I saw they got a detail about him wrong, and I was like, no, I'm changing this. I'm getting the detail. I did, yeah. I remember.
Did you tell him?
No, I haven't spoken to him or seen him
What
in
was
person.
the detail? Do you know?
I think it was the spelling of his name, of his actual name, his legal name, and I was like, no, I'm getting this detail right, and so I edited it, and I corrected Wikipedia.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
I remember changing one to farts and poop or whatever when I was a kid. This was last week.
You know WikiHow? Oh yeah, this was last week. 2 minutes ago. You know WikiHow?
Yeah.
My sister made a WikiHow in 8th grade for like one of her friends. her friend's name is like Mandy, and the WikiHow was how to be more like Mandy. It's one of the best.
That's really funny.
That's a really good one.
That's really good.
Yeah.
There's funny WikiHows though. There's ones that are like how to appear like a mermaid. Last week we had someone write in who genuinely believed that they may or may not be a mermaid.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think it could be true?
Do they live near water?
They said that when they go underwater, so there was one time where they were able to hold their breath for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
There
And
you
they
go.
haven't done it since.
They haven't
Pretty
done it
convincing.
since, yeah.
It's pretty convincing.
Maybe they're a mermaid once a year and they just happen to be under the water.
Not on the Sabbath.
Yeah, every other day they rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
It's hard to sing the siren song. It takes a lot out of you.
Well, I remember somebody convinced me that this is webbed. But you know,
Your hand?
yeah, you know that. Well, any hand, you know.
Yeah.
You know the little skin that's in between fingers that.
Exactly.
Somebody convinced me that
the finger's labia.
Yeah.
But they convinced you that it's
That's
Wait,
like,
Gabby, put your hand up. Put your hand up.
They convinced that's webbed like like the fish man.
Yeah.
Slowly we're developing webbed hands.
I remember when I was a kid when I found out that some dog breeds had more webbed paws than others.
Oh.
So that they could be better at swimming.
But
Yeah.
if we're developing webbed hands, I mean that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not anti-web.
You're like, I didn't make a value judgment.
Cancel
on
web.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cancel the web.
I'm glad you guys had me on because I'm here to tell
I don't
you.
welcome them in my home. I don't allow them to marry. Fuck.
I don't think anybody that's web should vote.
My daughter comes home with a Spider-Man.
I'm just saying, get those flipper loving.
You're out on the street.
Flipper lovers.
Get those flipper lovers
Sounds
out
like
of my
a slur.
house. Yeah.
Flipper lovers matter.
He's a damn flipper lover.
Oh my god. That really does sound
It
like...
sounds awful.
It sounds
It
bad.
sounds awful. Yeah. I hate
Yeah.
it.
Oof.
I got convinced that. Did you ever get convinced of the thing like if you put your hand in your face and it's bigger than your face,
That
you
you
have
have
cancer?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they hit your head.
And then they hit your head.
Yeah. I did that, but then they wouldn't hit my head, so I would just do this, and then they didn't know the finals.
They forgot the
and
rest.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
it was
I
very
guess
anticlimactic.
I guess I don't have cancer and you don't have a prank.
Yeah.
That was actually how to diagnose cancer.
I would love
Imagine
to
if
see a doctor
did
go.
that. All right, so we did the screening, we did the biopsy. Could you just put your hand in front of your face?
You're like, excuse me?
Sir, we need, please. This is...
And now we'll check for testicular cancer, and he does a nut tap.
If your hand is bigger than your nuts, you have cancer.
And a small package.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
And I don't know why that'd be happening.
Oh
my
that's
God.
so good.
How did we get to webbed hands? Oh, we were talking about Wikipedia.
Mermaid lady.
Yeah,
And
mermaid. Yeah,
and mermaid lady.
exactly.
Oh, wait, is it a woman? I don't want to.
It's a I would guess, but I guess you never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
person.
Mer-
It was
person,
it was a
yeah.
merman. It was
Merman.
merman.
Yeah.
It was a merman.
A Jewish person.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Jewish person. Yeah. Eugene Merman. Yeah.
That's what the Hasidic man who was called Loser changed.
Yeah.
his name to.
Yeah.
He's like, I am
Merman.
now Eugene Merman. Yeah.
That's how he came
Yeah.
to be.
Exactly. That's his origin story. They don't find that on Wikipedia.
Wow. So
No, I remember very quickly. I remember Daniel Tosh, who was like,
Yeah.
he put out the word. He was like, anyone can edit my Wikipedia article, and so the first sentence, it was like, Daniel Tosh pronounced smegma. It was
Oh
like,
man,
Oh, so good.
that's a good one.
so good. It was just a bunch of wild shit. I wish I could. I would love a fake Wikipedia article like that.
Do you want a Wikipedia page for you?
Do you want a Wikipedia page?
I so want a
I
Wikipedia
bet both
page.
of you guys could have Wikipedia pages. The only one who can't have a Wikipedia page is me.
Why not? You
You
can have
can
one.
What the
get your
fuck
sister
is
to make one.
how to be like Gabby?
Make a wiki how on how to get a
Yeah.
wiki page.
How to be like Gabby. One, don't know what age you are in any memory.
Oh my god.
It's actually like, I bet I could make you guys Wikipedia pages, but there was one time I had a job,
Mm.
and I won't say which company it was for because I signed an NDA, but
Okay, it was Enron.
it was Enron. And I tried to make Enron a Wikipedia page. And all of these commenters came for the Wikipedia and was like, this company is not big enough to merit
Wow.
The two of
Wikipedia."
us.
And I had to go back to my supervisor and say, I'm sorry. But they said that, like, this company, like, basically doesn't matter.
And that is why I will never want
Wow.
to make a wiki page.
But you do matter.
That's such an interesting argument to have that's never happened before in the history of employer-employee relationships.
Yeah, me as an employee being like, I'm sorry, like, you don't matter.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
I already knew
fucking
that, but
Terrifying.
now Wikipedia agrees. Yeah.
My goodness. Wait, can I ask, like, what is, like, your work history? Did you have any, like, weird jobs, odd what's going on?
I was a lifeguard. I worked at a grocery store.
You were a lifeguard.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I'm talking about it in the new whatever that I'm doing, but
Yes.
Nice.
The new whatever.
Yeah.
The new whatever.
I never call them anything. But I was a lifeguard in Syracuse, New York, which is the snowiest city in the United States.
Mm.
So it's like there's not a lot of action as a lifeguard there. You're
Sure. I
see.
mostly indoors, and no one wants to swim because it's freezing outside. And then
It's like joining the army, but you're put on the color guard.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's the color guard?
It's holding a flag.
Yeah.
Just for, like,
Oh.
processions and
Like
stuff,
a
ceremonies.
baton twirler.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Basically, they're just, like, sort of, like, used for show and, like,
Yeah.
domestic ceremonies and
That's
stuff.
what I would do in
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only had to save one person, and it was another lifeguard that was working with me that day.
You would just save another lifeguard.
Yeah, and even like that's like a whole thing, but like she was
that person's bad at their job. I'm
she-
sorry.
well, it was
Yeah.
slow, and she was jumping on the diving board, and she slipped and hit her head.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
sucks.
then we got her out, and she's fine. But
Oh, I'm okay. I was
yeah,
about to ask.
and then she died. Ha!
Yay!
I'm bad at telling stories. Man, it was horrific, and then yeah, so good to be here, guys.
Nice.
There are people who tell stories that way. They're like, yeah, I feel like my mom tells stories like that. She's like, yeah, I have this friend. He's a lawyer, lives on a farm. Anyway, he died last year. Like, what?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So you were a lifeguard. You worked at a grocery store.
Yes, I worked at Wegmans. which-
Wegmans. I know
Oh.
Wegmans.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the reaction every time. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
That's like it's the Disney World of
It sure
grocery
is,
stores.
yeah.
Yeah.
People love it.
It's the best one.
It is
I've never
really
been.
great.
We gotta.
Oh,
go.
you haven't been?
Never been to Wegmans.
There's one in Brooklyn.
Never been to Katz's Delicatessen either.
Wow.
That one's okay.
And you're a New
Yeah.
Yorker.
Yeah.
I mean,
Katz's is expensive.
yeah, Cats
Yeah.
you're fine, but I
Yeah.
think Wegmans.
Wegmans, I need to
I think you should go
experience.
to Wegmans.
Also, never been to Costco.
Out of the three, I still think Wegmans is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have never been to Costco either because I don't have a
Whoa.
membership.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I could take you both.
Take us to Costco,
I'll take
Daddy.
you to Costco.
Field trip.
Field trip to Costco.
Hell yeah.
Man, we'll have a bulk of laughs. All right, I'm so sorry.
Hey,
I'm
and
gonna
then you
leave.
just walk off
I'm-
the pod.
There's the title right
and then
there.
the lifeguard
Bulk
died.
of-
Bulk of laughs.
yeah.
Oh God.
So
Yeah,
then-
Wegmans. So
Dead
wait,
silence happened.
that's no, but like, so wait, Wegmans.
That
When
made me so. That hurt. That hurt. The silence. That hurt so much.
we were just recalibrating our thoughts.
Yeah, but that's never good. No one's ever killing so hard you have to recalibrate. That is the.
The audience is recalibrating.
that's how I
in front
measure
of
my
your very
success on
eyes.
stage is just by how the audience is just like.
Hold on a moment.
What the
You've killed
schmiggity
us
do?
so much.
Oh,
today.
God,
that
You've
was
killed
good.
us so much that we're
Wait,
all-
so wait, can I ask, like, you don't have a day job still?
I do not.
You do not. What was your last day with a day job like? Was it celebratory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at the service desk at the grocery
Okay.
store,
hell yeah.
and
How long ago was this also?
2017,
2017. Okay.
and
you were 6.
I was 6 years old.
I did the math. It checks out. Yeah.
I was 6 or
100%.
12, and
Never gonna live this down.
but there was a back room, and it had all the uniforms in it. So if anybody needed a new shirt, we could give them that. And throughout the 8-hour shift, there was probably 7 different colored shirts. I would do something for somebody and go, oh, I have to go in the back real quick. And I would switch colored shirts and come back in a different colored shirt as if nothing had changed and do the rest of the thing.
I love
No one ever noticed, but I found it hilarious.
That's a great.
I love that so much.
It made me feel great because it's like, that's how stupid this is.
Yeah.
And how stupid we all are, that no one finds this hilarious. It may be not even that funny, but for me, I'm like, I just want to do something that's stupid.
I would have done the same thing. Shake it
I
up.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then anyone that knows me, knows Wegmans, they have these sub cookies. So if you go to the sub shop, Wegmans is known for good bakery stuff.
Okay.
But at the sub shop, they have these cookies that are like the size. They're bigger than the coaster. Like they're huge. They're like
they're really.
They're like as big as
yeah.
if you're checking for cancer.
Yeah.
They're that big, and
I love a giant cookie.
it's so good.
I love a giant cookie.
It's a giant cookie, and I would get them all the time.
Yes.
They were so good. They're the best cookies ever. And I asked the sub shop that would do the cookies, I was like, is it possible for my last day to get one the size of a pizza? And they...
Good request.
Good request,
Great
I think.
request.
Incredible.
And they made it. They had to... The cookies were already sort of pre-made, so they put a bunch of them in the oven, and they melted together and made a giant cookie. And I
the
got...
whole thing?
I ate... it was a stupid idea. I ate maybe like 1/4 of it and had to start giving it away to people.
All right, yeah.
But like it
No,
was
but
amazing.
A lot of cookie.
It
It's
is a lot of cookie, but still it's like the presentation is
The
just
presentation
getting
was
given
amazing.
it. That's what it's about.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have to eat all, but you just like get given it all.
It was
That's
so
great.
great.
That's
It
amazing.
was wonderful.
I will say though, my favorite cookie that you can get anywhere is the oatmeal chocolate chip you can get at a Potbelly sandwich shop.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
It is next level. It is
Interesting.
so good. Anytime I pass by one, I have to get it.
Oh,
I absolutely have to.
I'm not with Trader Joe's Brookies.
What are those again?
Brownie cookies?
The brownie.
Your eyes
cookies?
widened like I haven't
Yeah, they
seen
did.
ever.
That was.
They made me
pure joy.
they made me pre-diabetic, and I had to quit them
Oh.
and do some health stuff. But yeah.
Oh my
No.
goodness.
Oh yeah.
How I remember you talking about that in your stand up. When was that? Are you still? Or are you
I'm not anymore. But
Okay.
during the pandemic, you know,
can put
we
the
all
juice down, by the way, if that's too much sugar.
Brookies are pretty deadly. But yeah, they're half brownie, half cookie, and they're amazing. They come in a tray, and the way they get you, this is how I sound like a conspiracy theorist. This is how they get you. They cut them into little cubes, and you'll eat one and be like, well, that was great, but it was so short lived. I
Those
gotta
sick
Oh
fucks.
yeah
the pistachio nut of the
Yeah.
cookie world.
Yeah.
yeah, and I would just toss them back.
They cut them into little cubes,
Do you know
like
what?
sick
That's
bastards.
actually a weirdly modern thing because I think like that's like the genius of the addiction of short form social media videos is that they're so short that you just keep watching more and more
Yeah,
and more
yeah.
and more and more and more
Yeah, those
instead
are
of like a
brain
longer
brookies.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's deadly.
Yeah.
I'm big on the rainbow cookies. Yeah, I'm big on like the little like layer cookies with the jelly inside.
Oh, is that like the red, green, and yellow ones?
Yes.
Yes, that you get like at Italian bakeries.
Those are my
Oh.
favorite
Oh,
by
yeah.
far.
My favorite are like the sort of almond S-shaped cookie that you get in an
I like
Italian
those.
bakery. I love those.
I don't know any of the stuff you're talking about.
Oh, you got to head to Villa Bate Alba in Brooklyn. That is like the best bakery in the world.
Wow.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
surprised with your Italian roots. You don't know
I mean,
Villa Bate Alba.
I got to think
You
about
got to revoke your rights.
some Italian cookies, or like a lot of that stuff's so dry.
Some of it.
It
Well, a lot of
looks-
them are to be dunked in coffee.
Right. I
I'll
forget
bet
about
that's a big
that.
part of it.
The rainbow cookie's very moist.
Yeah.
I love a moist cookie.
I too love a moist cookie.
I gotta have chew.
Well, you
gotta
give your cookie foreplay. That's what you gotta do if you want it. Otherwise, they complain, and then
I just fuck my cookies straight up.
Sir, if you're gonna keep talking dirty to the cookies, you're gonna have to leave.
You're naked in the veneeros. Stop it.
Stop rubbing the outside rim of the cookie.
We have a relationship. I come here every day.
Relationship. All right, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Did I make up for vocal laughs yet?
Vocal laughs earned. Oh my god.
It's this juice.
Or Jamaican like bacon. Not to bring you back into your head.
Good God. Get ready for some DMs about removing that joke.
No,
I'm kidding.
it's
No.
our fans are very nice.
I'm excited to. I almost said meet
Also
them. Like they're
intensely
gonna
racist.
come out of.
But
Our fans are nice and homophobic.
Are they
Yes.
flipper lovers?
Yeah.
they are, and that's why they need to be canceled.
Do people with not people with webs. Do creatures with webbed hands? What is that considered? Are they like mammals?
Yeah, I think so. Like
I mean,
otters
yeah,
have
sometimes.
them.
Yeah. Well, dogs are for sure mammals, and they have like webbed paws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
one
one
of
Some
them
right now. Yeah,
There's one
it's
of them.
confirming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bark in if you have webbed paws. God,
Bark
stop being
in
quiet after I bomb on the. Please pretend they're good. Both of you come back into frame. For God's sake.
That's what I'll do. Well, sometimes you give us thinkers. You're smarter than us.
Yeah, I'm not. They're not unfunny. You just gotta think.
You're
about
just smarter than us,
Yeah,
man.
that's-
We're operating
You're
on a
doing
different level,
better than
man.
we are.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're on the road.
That's why
am
you're
on-
where you are, my guy.
I'm on the road because I have to leave after doing jokes like vocal.
You're on the road every time you do a joke. You're like, oh, gotta go to the next city.
That's just me leaving conversations I felt weird in. I just book a tour.
Oh my god.
Every time you feel weird, you're like, all right, 3 more states.
Yes,
Gotta go.
time to go to Philly.
Can I ask, what was it like the first time you did like a road gig? Did you feel like, oh, this is new? Were you scared? Were you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always scary.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
in your comedy career did you first go on the road?
Yes.
Like how many
Right
years
away
in?
because I'm from Syracuse, New York, and it's a very small scene.
Yeah.
It's actually gotten smaller since I've left.
How do you mean?
This is pre-pandemic as well. We would have
The
like,
comedy scene got lap band surgery, so it became smaller.
Oh, or the balloon.
Exactly.
Dr. Now came in.
Indeed.
there was like 3 mics and 1 club, and in order to get on stage 7 times a week, you had to host the weekend, or at the club. So, and then when I left, a lot of the mics stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have to drive to Rochester, to Buffalo, to Albany,
I see.
Utica, and then in Binghamton. I would drive all over New York State, and then it just started to spread a little bit. I got passed at the Funny Bone clubs and started doing
Nice.
Hartford, Connecticut, and
So you kind of started in the clubs.
yeah, I started on the road, because where I started was like a road club. It wasn't. It's not a scene.
Right.
It's
Right.
just a stop headliners would do. But that was cool because I got
Yeah.
to see all the headliners I would try to be on the shows with or come and watch live here. Like it was all these New York killers because it's only 1 hour flight away from New York. So
Yeah.
you'd see a lot of good comics there. And then, but it was always scary because I don't think I'm getting better at it, but I don't think I'm good. Like I have this problem of not thinking I'm good, and you get comfortable, and a lot of it is leaving to go somewhere else where people don't know you. And I'm like, am I even funny in Omaha? Like that kind of stuff. So I would always worry that I was not. I would not fit in. I have a fear of not fitting in.
Right.
Let's go over all of my fears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have time.
It's great you say that because I've got a checklist of all your fears right
Yes.
here.
And they're all here. Bring them in.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
A new car.
if you fear this new car, it's right here
Check under your seat. There's
No.
spiders. No.
with webbed hands?
Do you have a phobia of spiders? Any phobias? None?
I'm not afraid of spiders.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a good life.
I'm very pro spider. I've always
Love
been a fan of
spiders.
I love
spiders.
spiders.
Love spiders.
And
I
you
love
know what?
spiders.
I
They do a
like
lot of good.
cockroaches.
Okay.
Love spiders. Love spiders.
Okay, well, if
How
you're not
old were
gonna
you when you
support
realized
me-
you liked cockroaches? Were you 6?
or 12? A broken clock right twice a day. So, like, if you go to a place like Omaha, is that something where you feel like you have to change up your material, or it's just...
Not anymore. Because for me, it's like I can't be anyone other than myself.
Right.
Which could none of it is is the term fan service. Like, I'm not gonna give anybody what they want. I gotta hope that what I give them clicks with them.
Well, I would also imagine, since you like started out basically on the road, that you already, like, from the get-go, you started adapting yourself for multiple different kinds of audiences.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that because I've done a few shows, like a handful of shows outside of New York City.
Right.
But like 99% of what I've done has been here. I started here.
Yeah. You're in a great position as far as, like, I feel like New York, but it's a double-edged sword because New York is the most evolved stand-up scene. So crowds are with you on. Also, we're more evolved as a society. Well, not as a society, but like with political correctness, we're ahead of other states as far as gender is fluid, like that kind of stuff. And whereas you got to go, there are a couple steps behind us in other areas. Now you're seeing a little bit of progression, but it's like in New York, we're so pushed in together. It's like we rise faster.
Yes,
definitely. You have to learn this. We accept this. These people are people, which is insane. That is something.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it's like here you're aware of all that, and your jokes you can be in front of all those types of people. Everybody's here, and like in other scenes, it's like it's probably going to be one group or slightly diverse.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you something? Do you believe then, because that sounded like very encouraging and very positive, do you believe that there is a bubble in this city, that you can adapt yourself too much for just one kind of audience here? Do you think that's a danger here, or do you not think
I think you can be. I think you're I've heard this from other comedians. I'm not trying to take credit for it, but you're a product of your
credit.
I always said from the beginning, you're a product of your environment. So
You did say that.
I've said that from the
First.
beginning,
Yeah.
way before
You
Jim
did.
Gaffigan. And but Brian Regan, who I work with a lot, when he started, he told me he lived in New York. He moved to New York, but he made sure he spent his equal amount of time in both places, which is what I also try to do.
Yeah.
You spend half the time on the road and half time in the city, so that you're always your stuff's got to work in both places. But you also can only you can't control where you're working in the beginning. So it's like it's not bad that you're only working here because you're working. Working is so important. But it is good to be doing the other stuff too. But too much of one, you're always gonna be trying to kill. So if you're only in one place, you're gonna be like, well, this is how I kill here, and you're gonna those tools of killing in that place are gonna be sharper than other places.
Yeah.
And how did you first link up with Brian?
He saw me at a festival, the Lucy I Love Lucy Fest in Jamestown, New York.
Forgive me, I thought you were going to say the Lucy Liu Festival.
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
Lucy
she has
Liu.
a festival.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
deserves her own
Well, at first
festival.
she got it from Kung Fu Panda, and
Yes.
sorry,
Where it should have been animals
It
playing.
should have been
Yeah.
a snake instead of her.
I like that you're
I was so
you're
proud of
"Fuck
that.
Yeah, callback.
It was the longest
yes.
callback, I think.
Fuck
Yeah, you win.
yeah.
Longest
You win.
callback award.
And I Love Lucy Fest. It was the first big festival I was in, because you guys know you submit to festivals. They go, we got a lot of great videos.
Yeah.
Sorry you didn't make the cut, and you just get those emails over and over again, and you're like, I suck.
Yeah.
And all that, and it's something we all have to go through. But this is a festival that picked the comedians. You didn't submit, and they saw me somewhere, and they invited me, which was very nice and exciting. And then he was one of the main headliners. So I went to. I've never seen him live. I got to go watch him. It was amazing. And then I went to my show. Who Sam Morril was on that lineup. This is before Sam Morril was as
like,
big
really
as he
off.
is now.
Yeah.
And I'm such a nerd. I knew who he was. The crowd might have. He had like I don't remember what year this was, but I remember going up to him being like, "Oh my God, I'm a huge fan." And then I'm like before him on this lineup. It was ridiculous that I was on this lineup.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. But then Brian came from his show. He loves comedy as much as we do. Came and watched our show, saw me. And then a month later, I heard from his manager, and I've been opening for him ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what
That's
is it
awesome.
like now having like a personal relationship with someone who like at first maybe you just knew as like a fan of?
I'm very honored. He's like a friend. It's really cool.
That's
Awesome.
really cool.
It's very awesome. And I tried to keep the fanboy at bay, and
Right.
but I get to watch him all the time. So like the fanboy is still there because I get to watch him do an hour and destroy in a theater.
Yeah.
But then I get to hang out with him, and now it's like a friend. It's so weird, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's
amazing.
known as one of the best like clean comics.
Yes.
And would you
yeah.
say that was always you as well? Were you always kind of a clean comic?
I don't think of you as like a clean comic in the same way that I think of I just think of you as a comic. I haven't like
that's
I don't
the
think of you
goal.
necessarily as like raw. I just
Well, I'm not saying I think of you and I'm like that Steven Rogers, he's squeaky clean.
Right. I think what I want what both of you are seeing about me. I want to be considered amongst the people that are clean, but I don't want anyone that's watching me to be consciously aware of what they're seeing as clean. If that makes any sense.
But there is no clean comic who people are watching and they're like, that guy's so clean.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that about Jim Gaffigan. I've heard people say that.
Insane. When I watch Jim Gaffigan, I'm just laughing. I'm
Exactly,
not like,
yeah.
I wish he was talking about sex. Like, what?
Right.
I wish Jim Gaffigan was fucking.
I want to
so
hear
hot.
about Jim Gaffigan. Fucking.
He does have like 8 kids, so he does it. He just doesn't
Yeah.
talk about it.
He bangs. Just you know it works. Just
Sex isn't funny.
Oh, I mean, I'm dating a very funny comedian, Caitlin Palufo.
Oh yeah, she's
Mhm.
hilarious.
hilarious.
Is a tremendous comedian, very dirty, and I think she's one of the best I've ever seen. Constantly kills.
I would say that as well.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
extraordinary. She really is.
You're welcome. And
As for you, doll.
Well, that's real love if she's
Yeah.
watching.
she's not watching.
No.
That's why I was fine doing that. I knew she would never see that. But all that to say, like, I don't think one is better than the other. Not that we are saying that, but like, I stumbled upon being clean. I didn't choose the path of it. It just seems to be who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I don't talk about, like, I'll talk about sex, but it's like, I don't think I have anything to contribute comedically about the topic right now. If I have something that I think no one has said before about sex and I think it's funny and want to say it,
Yeah.
I might do it. But
Yeah.
so I'm not avoiding those topics on purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't swear a lot. When I do, I'm in pain or like severe rage. So neither of those is funny.
I was imagining someone's like, swear, and you're like, I don't want to. Don't make me do it. And you're like, okay.
If there's a gun to my head,
Yeah.
say fuck or die, I'll say it.
Yeah.
But
I am curious though, because like in my I've had people say like, oh, you got to do impressions in your stand-up, and I have like no interest in doing
I think that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely, when people ask me, I say I haven't thought of a bit that needed an impression.
I think that's great because there are, I think, keep pursuing that.
Yeah. Oh no, I know it's I'm trusting my gut and doing bits that I feel good about, that I feel is like in my soul. Can I ask, is there any subject or anything that someone had said, oh, you got to do that, or you got to do more of that, and you were like, I don't know if I do. Is there anything like that? And then we'll get into like listeners. But yeah, I wanted to.
Yeah. I don't ever really want to talk about religion, politics, or race.
Mm-hmm.
One, I don't find any of those funny. I'm like, what am I gonna say? I feel like I have nothing to contribute to any of those things, and so I don't think I'll ever talk about that stuff. Also, I tend to avoid topics that I would avoid at a party.
That's a good rule of thumb. That's a very good rule of thumb.
If this is gonna kill the momentum at a party conversation, it's gonna kill the momentum of my set for me.
Interesting.
That's very good.
I'm just imagining someone at a party walking up to someone and being like, would you like to talk about politics, religion, and race?
Yeah. But like, you know,
with like a big smile on your face, like, hey.
You know when you're like at a family thing or even a party and COVID, for example, starts to come up and you're like, really, this again?
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. I think we should I have certain beliefs about it. Like we should take care of everybody and do be a human person. Why do we have to talk about this? Like I see stand-up as an escape. And like a party is.
Well, it's also you have to find something funny,
right,
in order for you to want to make something to make fun for someone else. Is that you have to find something funny about it,
right?
I think there are people who can talk about, like Jared Freed has been doing a really amazing set of bits about COVID and I feel like it's because he has such an
unique,
original perspective.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do, and I'm like, this is great.
But just to be like, oh, I'm sorry, we're in a pandemic. It's like, well, we're actually 3 years in, so it's been a lot of discussion.
Yeah, and like being a straight white guy, which I hate that when people think that we have it rough. Like, I don't want to. I'm trying to get this crowd to forget that I'm that. Why would I talk about that?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to have everyone join me and relate to me, and I'm trying to relate to everybody here. So bringing up things where we can be separate from each other doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful note. I think we should get into listener
That's
submissions.
A good segue to get into listener submissions.
Yes.
Will you bring out your computer? Are you ready to give some advice?
Oh,
yes.
Or just commentary.
I would love to.
Because sometimes people just write in with stories that
I'm excited.
don't have a neat, like, wrapped up little thing about it. They just want to talk to us. Okay. Someone says, do you ever have a problem with your creativity, and what do you do to stimulate those brilliant brains of yours? I'm a graphic designer and lately have a huge block at work.
Ooh.
I have an answer in mind. Okay, I will say, this is when I find that I'm most creative. It's like if I have like a podcast or something that I can listen to but not too intensely in the background while I'm folding laundry.
Wow.
That's when like my hands are occupied. I'm like very well sort of like stimulated by my environment, but not too much, and then stuff just sort of bubbles up to the surface.
Would you say your hands are sweaty, vomit on your sweater, mom
spaghetti?
Are we gonna get demonetized again?
Once more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that's like a very therapeutic state for me.
Right.
It's like folding laundry while I have something nice playing in the background. And then I'll like think of something and I'll make a note of it and then go back to it. But just that's a good state for me to be in for stuff to just, as I say, like bubble up to the surface.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you get writer's block?
I don't know if I believe in writer's block. As far as like, I feel like the only way to nothing's gonna. I don't know. I don't feel like it, and I don't know. I have mixed feelings about writer's block because it's like there's days where I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna. If I do it, I'm gonna not come up with anything. I feel like you should always attempt it, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but for me, I choose to not use that as an excuse for myself.
Yes,
because
I know what you're saying.
Then it's just gonna domino, and it's gonna keep happening. I don't want to give myself. I'm very hard on myself, work ethic wise.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's why you're where you're at.
Thank you. That's very that's
and
very
your good
nice.
looks and charm.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
And your huge cock.
Yes. Well, it's
With
about
tiny
time that
balls.
comes. Yeah. Actually, this is how I'm holding the mic.
Hell yeah.
Dumb. Anyways.
You need a stand for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a mount.
So I try to get up. When I wake up, I try to make that the first thing I do. When you're so groggy, like I learned in therapy, do the worst first. So that feeling of sitting down and writing and not feeling like a genius right away, which sucks. You're like, am I even good when you're first starting writing?
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm doing that while I'm still waking up and rebooting as a person, kind of like after you're hearing my Costco joke, like after that feeling of recalibrating, that's when I start, and that usually trying to get momentum is the hardest part. So I just try to get momentum as fast as possible.
That's good.
But I do the dishes, and that helps.
Yep.
Ooh.
Because we don't have a dishwasher.
Do you live with your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she also, huge win there, sleeps way later than I do. So
I like your joke about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the alarm.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that
Because
makes
that's me
feel...
and my girlfriend too. I sleep
Oh,
really?
really?
I sleep really late, and I'm always like 10 more minutes, and at some point,
And then
like,
you
I
go,
don't even need to set an
Mom,
alarm
10
anymore.
more minutes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I've never called her mom. To my
Yeah, you
knowledge.
did. Well, not to your knowledge, but I heard you did.
You heard it.
I did.
Were you in my house?
I was under the covers, just lurking. Not many people know this, but
He's my strap-on.
Amazing.
Doesn't he look like it?
Oh, man.
That's a good roast joke. Lukas looks like my strap-on.
That's amazing.
that's so good.
I'll save that for
Oh
our battle
my
at
God.
some point. I think you're right though about writer's block in the sense that like I feel like when I get what I guess I would call, because I used to get more writer's block and now I don't call it that as much anymore because I have deadlines for school, so I can't have it. And I think what it really is the fear of not doing something well, so just not doing it.
Yeah. That is a very relatable fear that I have all the time. But I feel like, and I know nothing about graphic design, so I don't know what the equivalent would be for this, but it's like, at the end of the day, I am going on stage at some point today. So it's like, if I write all day, or not all day, but if I write for an hour, I usually set a timer for an hour and just go until it goes off. And then if I feel like doing another one later or keep going at that moment, I'll do it. But I've accomplished that hour, which is a nice feeling. Like Seinfeld said in an interview, you would never do an exercise and have it be open-ended. You would have it a start and an end time.
Yeah.
So I do that, and by the end of that session, I feel like I've written. And when I do stand up later that day, it's not the first time I've thought about jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like if you work on stuff and feel like you accomplished nothing, you still got your brain to set on a problem or set on being creative. And later that day, when you're folding laundry or doing the dishes, something might pop up then. Or when you get on stage, that part of your brain is lubricated.
Yes.
So I think that helps too. Also, I like to sneak in something new every set because I'm obsessed with jokes. So it's like,
right. That's a wonderful answer. That's really good.
Yeah, good. Thank God.
I will say one last thing before we move on, which is that you may think of just like whatever you do as like relating to productivity, but every other part of your life is about productivity. Making sure you eat well, making sure you exercise, making sure you take time to relax and be social. All of these things help you indirectly to be productive. So take care of yourself in every area of your life, and that will that has to help.
Yeah.
Also shower.
Yes.
Good. That's a big one too. Is like if you shower, it's like there's this momentum.
I think about things in the time. I always like if I'm stuck on something I'm writing for school, I take a shower whether I need it or not, and I usually do need it.
Yeah.
Believe you me, folks.
Not to brag, but I need a shower
Usually
sometimes.
need it.
I read this too. If you brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand,
Whoa.
it gets the brain going.
I'm weirdly scared to do that. For some
I've been
reason.
doing it for 6 months now or something like that. And it's great.
It work? Does it
I
help
mean, it
you?
does. It's not like I've come up with the cure to COVID during brushing my teeth or anything.
Yeah,
but it's
now
like,
you're immune.
Yeah, I think it's ivermectin.
I actually-
Whoa.
That's amazing.
No one would need to get vaccinated if they all
Yeah,
just brush
if
their
you guys
teeth
just use
with-
your non-dominant hand, this wouldn't be an issue.
This wouldn't be an issue.
Exactly.
Wear your mask. Use your non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, this
But-
is sponsored by Alpha Brain.
But I brush with my non-dominant hand, and it does have your brain thinking earlier.
Right.
Or for me, because that's the first thing I do. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You're like thinking about how to do it because it's not
Yeah, it's
muscle
not
memory
natural.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So that
I'm gonna
has
try
helped.
that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I will
it's
try that as
easy.
well.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, here's another one. So, hi, new listener here. Here's a wholesome coming out story.
Hey.
So we sometimes get just people like sharing stuff for our takes on them.
That's great.
So yeah, wholesome coming out story. I have one sister and one brother. My sister is bi and my brother is pan, and I'm non-binary in parentheses gender flux lesbian. We all told each other before we told our mom and dad. The deal was my sister would come out to my parents first, then my brother, and then me. That way we could all support each other if it went wrong. Surpassing all expectations, my parents were extremely chill with my sister. My mom said, "Great, when will I meet your girlfriend?" And then my parents agreed over if she would have a boyfriend or a girlfriend first. My brother comes out, once again very chill, and goes and orders a pride flag for both of them. My turn to let them know. I say, "Mom, Dad, I'm non-binary." Immediately my mom goes, "Aw, yes, I collected the whole set." And my dad just silently hands her $20.
No, what?
Turns out they bet on if I was going to be a non-binary person or trans. Best day ever.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is so great. I mean, I'm glad you got last. You get money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It was
no. They got the
mom and dad bet each
Oh.
other over what their third kid
Right.
was going to do. Because they just feel like, yeah.
I understood that, but didn't think about the money part.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so funny.
That's adorable.
The parents are like, all right, we got one bi kid.
We got one bi, we got one pan,
kid.
we got the...
What's fucking next? Should we have
Wow.
another and bet on that one too? I imagine they're
Just
just
like
having,
rolling the dice. Come on, trans. Just
they're having so many kids to just see what they get.
Wow.
Wow.
At the very end, they're one kid straight. They're
You
like,
just
"Oh,
end up with the X-Men. Just like...
Those are cool parents.
That
was
really
great.
awesome.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a brother and two sisters.
Oh wow. Are you?
How
the
are they
youngest?
ordered? How are...
Yeah.
Brother, sister, me.
Whoa.
Who would die first in a horror movie?
Whoa.
That was a great question.
I don't know where that came out of me.
I don't know either.
You got to keep that.
That's a good
I got-
one.
You
gotta
got to
keep
keep
that for
that.
sure.
Is a killer conversation.
Yeah.
That was. I'm so not impressed.
You're not impressed.
I am impressed, but I didn't want it to. That
You can say you're
seems-
turned on. It's okay.
I'm turned on by that so much
Yeah.
that my eyes are getting bigger. And,
Exactly.
now
Now your siblings.
now that's
so,
the longest callback.
yeah, that's the longest
there you
callback.
go.
There we go.
But my sorry, I just think that's so great.
It is a great question. Yeah.
I'm all for questions that are not ever asked.
Oh, yeah.
Who would die? I think it'd be me.
Yeah.
I think I would die first.
I can see that for you. Who would die last?
Should I have said I was impressed? Would you? Would I have?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
were like, I'm really impressed by you, Gabby. You and Lukas have created a beautiful podcast together. I'd be like,
I
you
hate
would
saying
make
that
it.
I'm impressed to somebody because it feels like I'm saying I'm shocked. Does that make
No,
sense?
No,
I-
I don't
I-
think so.
Oh, okay. I always see impressed as I didn't think anything good would come out of you. That's what I hear when I hear impressed.
No, I know what you
Oh.
mean.
So I didn't want to be insulting.
Yeah,
I know what you mean a little bit now.
Yeah.
I would have that assumption.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do one? Let's do this next one. You want to read it out?
Okay, somebody asks, is Chris Evans really that hot?
Yes. Moving on.
Wow.
Do you agree?
I think yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Hmm.
You don't know? I have a theory about Ryan Gosling. I don't think he actually really is that hot.
I don't agree. I think Ryan Gosling's very hot.
I think he's hotter than Chris Evans.
I think Chris
Interesting.
Evans is hotter than Ryan Gosling easily.
Bark in and
Bark
Yeah,
in
bark in.
Uh,
Waiting for my
and
neighbor's
woof
dog.
into the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Woof into the comments.
All right.
Oh man.
Oh yes, one more. Here we go.
Oh, someone's sharing like a fear.
Phobia.
Ooh.
A phobia.
All right.
Oh yeah, okay. Climacophobia. I think I pronounced that right. I hate climbing ladders or getting onto a horse or anything unstable. I almost had a breakdown once because my mom wanted a picture of me on a fake bowl made out of candy. House stairs are fine, but steep, stony stairs like a mountain terrify me.
Oh yeah.
You feel that way?
I don't have that phobia, but I
You're like, my anxiety is more social.
Yes. Yeah.
No, not ladders.
I hate climbing a social ladder. I relate to.
My anxiety's love language is more physical rather than like.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. The thing that made the reason I don't want this listener to think I was laughing at their phobia, but
I want them to.
Oh, but you were.
No, and then he closes
were.
it. But
That was the last one.
they said getting on a horse makes them scared, and they go, and anything
Yes.
unstable, and then horse and stable were too close
Oh yeah.
together for me to take it. So it made me laugh.
So that's
so
why
I
you're where you
apologize.
are because
Yeah.
you notice the big ones. You're gonna be something, kid.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Are we supposed to give advice on the phobia?
Yeah, not advice, just like thoughts. Just basically, they just because
What
like
do you think?
a lot of it is stuff that we've just never heard of. And
I
so
have not heard of that phobia.
It's
I
also
mean,
so
I've
because
not
it's
heard
like
of climax phobia.
I thought it was that too.
yeah.
Yeah, Caitlin must have it.
Phenomenal. She's terrified.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now I really hope she's not watching.
I'm gonna DM the episode to her and be like, "Hey, your boy is in
Clip
this."
this.
Yeah, even though I know that's the real.
That's the
Oh
real.
my
The ladder. A ladder is always nerve wracking.
Ladders are scary. Remember when Lee and Maxim had that mic, the
Yes,
wobbly ladder?
oh, the wobbly ladder. It was this ladder that was bolted to like the inside of the apartment, and it would go up onto the roof. But like one of the bolts on the base was undone, so it would just like shake like crazy. It was
horrifying. It was one of like the few pandemic mics that was like around.
yeah. It started in like June of 2020. It was one of the first like in-person things that started in the pandemic.
What did he go to the tiny cupboard and get inspired?
Yeah, basic.
Yeah.
It was just
Wow.
like, hey, can we make this worse? Just
Oh
like,
man. Wow.
yeah.
Well, best of luck with that.
Best of luck
Fear.
to you.
Outdoor
Yeah.
comedy was intense for a while. There was a lot of like performing in backyards and
Oh,
I did
yeah.
one in a tent.
you
yeah.
did one of what?
In a tent.
You
Right.
you said intense, and
Oh.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah. Apology accepted.
No, yeah, it was very intense. The parks was crazy, but
Yeah.
I feel like it made us stronger because of all the distractions you had to beat.
Yes,
Yes.
true. Like
Also-
kids' birthday parties.
It
Yes.
also, I think, made the pool of comedy, it was a little bit harder to get into for someone who was just starting at that point. But I think because like with open mics, they were so public, like anyone could sign up because you find it online on like
Right.
free. And
I
like,
miss free mics so much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I miss it too.
Do they not like post anymore?
There is no, not to get too inside baseball, there is no central area that I've felt is easily checkable
Yeah.
for stage time anymore. I
Yeah.
want to get on, I want to do a mic. I don't want to do the same mics every week.
Say,
Side
yeah.
note,
I
I
wanna
think
mix
it's
it up.
incredible that you work as much as you do and you still go to mics.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
You're incredibly
Thank you.
dedicated. Yeah.
yeah, I care a lot and think I'm bad. So I constantly go. But also, like, I love it because I get to see, that's how I am
Yeah.
familiar with you two. I think you guys are so funny.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I think you're great. So it's like going to mics and seeing other people that I wouldn't see if I was on the road. Like on
Yeah.
the road,
Right.
I'm only with the people that are on the show with me.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
yes.
If I go to a mic, I can see 20 other people's perspectives, and
It's also cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
you also
that-
get to enjoy other people's
Yeah.
comedy. I honestly like. I don't understand. I know some people that like they'll go to a mic purely just to try out the material, and then they'll like leave pretty soon after, and
Yeah.
not just enjoy it.
yeah.
I'm like, you get to enjoy comedy. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Sometimes I will say I'm the leaving person if it's close enough to my home.
Yeah,
because I'm a homebody and they fight laziness constantly. But if I love to sit and watch people at a mic, and sometimes I'm the only laugher, and it's not because the person's not doing well. It's because everybody's so in their head, looking at their notes, looking at their phone, like, what am I gonna say when I get up there? And it's like being like the cheerleading parent. I feel like sometimes
It makes the mic more fun.
Someone's got to be the laugher. What sucks is when I'm the best laugher, and then it's my turn.
Right.
That's the worst experience.
Or you have to leave.
Yes.
You gotta get out for a spot or something.
There's friends. I'm like, I got to stay. They need this.
They need old Stevie.
Yeah,
they need the big gun.
There's friends who are a bunch of losers. They need me.
I know everything I'm saying. I'm like,
They were
I'm an idiot.
Hasidic and then they left.
What the fuck?
Loser?
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
my
thought it was great.
callback.
That was a great callback. I
Thank
laughed.
you.
I'm
I'm sorry,
you.
I needed the name. I was lost.
I was impressed.
Did you think I was just saying something mean about Jews?
Yeah, I was like, what? I was sorry. I'm bad at this.
That's
He's
all right.
he's just seen me say so much horrible stuff.
Man.
He's desensitized.
Your words, not mine.
Well, as your strap on, he's gonna see a lot of stuff.
He's got.
There's not a lot of light in there. Not a.
It's dark and
It's very
cavernous
dark.
inside my girlfriend's vagina.
Did you just
Yeah, do that voice again.
do the strap on?
It's so dark in here. I just want to breathe. Please.
I'll give you an oxygen mask next time.
Give me a scuba tank. Like,
That'd be so funny if a mask came down in it. All right.
Wait, a mask inside.
Yeah, like the airplanes.
yeah.
How big do you guys think my girlfriend's vagina is?
Enough to fit me and
enough
to
that
my
there's
whole
a,
body.
There's a seat for an oxygen mask to come down and one for the kid next to him. So they
Bring a friend.
Put
Yeah,
your
yeah.
mask on before you
Teach them while they're young. That's why I said.
yeah. stay in
Oh
school.
my god. Okay.
Okay.
We are coming to the end
are
of the
coming.
episode. We are coming hard. So something we do at the end of every episode, we do something called Self-Perception Corner. We ask our
This
guests.
is gonna be great with
This
you.
is going to be very good. We ask our
Your
guests to
eyes just got
describe.
so wide.
We ask our guests to describe how they believe they are perceived by other people, and then, and then we say how we actually perceive.
I am dreading this.
But okay, I also I
No,
would,
let him go. Let's. Let him
I want.
go. Okay. What is it?
I would just encourage you to. You can think about this from a number of ways, but I would encourage you to think about how you're perceived by people who love you.
Right.
Close people.
Because I know that this is like not an easy thing. you know?
Yes.
Right. I think. Okay. Wow. First of all, killer segment. That because it's another
You're
thing.
like in the abstract.
In
No
that,
one-
I would rather be killed right now. Just like I hate this.
No, like it's just like the horror movie thing, which can't give you enough props for us. So it's very. You guys are very good at what you do. Is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I will answer this, but I think that's a big part of my drive is I don't know how I'm perceived. But I would say I'm perceived as nice and someone that works very hard or tries very hard, and that's all I'm comfortable enough to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, that was excruciating.
I could tell.
I didn't
And
look.
I
That's
could
the only
tell.
time I've looked at the floor this whole podcast.
Oh wow.
How did it look?
That's a great rug.
Thank you.
It's a good rug.
Thank you. Matches the drapes. Let me tell you.
I thought a rug was a drape for a very long time.
What
so.
the fuck, Gabby?
His-
Go on.
for the listeners, his rug is brown and curly. So
Yes. Indeed, it is. Used to be blonde when it was little, but
One day it will be gray.
the rug
One day.
grows. The rug grows.
My hair used to be blonde when I was younger.
Mine too.
Yeah. It gets.
I was blonde.
Yeah, you look like very similar, but just sort of dark blonde hair that got darker over time. Yeah.
I can see that with you as well.
Yeah.
Did you also have blonde like eyebrows?
Yes, my hair used to. No, my eyebrow hair used to be lighter. It did used to be a little bit.
Because I feel like it would be cool if like you guys just looked like Spanish children, like with the like blonde hair and the dark eyebrows.
Well, the Hispanics don't panic. So.
Yeah, that's true. About their
but
eyebrows.
they look like they're panicking because their eyebrows are so like. No, I mixed it up. Anyway, so well, first off, can I just say I was a little bit nervous to have you on the pod because in my mind, in my perception of you, you're like a much bigger comic, and I was very excited but also nervous because I wanted to make a good.
You're perceiving that correctly.
Yes, you are.
No, but
you are.
After hearing some of my jokes, you're like, oh, he's not as big as I.
This guy's no.
This guy's
Yeah.
nobody.
But I was not like intensely but a tiny bit, which was my own. But after getting to talk to you very extensively in this pod, I'm just like, oh yeah, he is such a very down to earth, very easy to talk to, very easy to get along with. Like, tell you the sort of person who you see at a party and you go, oh, thank God this person is here.
Oh, thank you.
I agree with that completely.
Thank
you. And I've always said about this segment specifically that I feel like it is the things people are afraid to be that they're like the most not. So I feel like you're always afraid of like being a burden and being like, I don't know, like too much for people. And I feel like when I met you, I perceived you as like so polite.
Oh, thank you.
I think I met you. You came to my mic, and like some people, they come to this open mic that I run, and they're like, "Where am I on the list?" Like they're mean, and like
I remember.
It's what I do.
I was actually playing patty cake with another comic, and walked
Lucas
right
walked
through it.
Right through the patty cake.
Sorry, I was busy being used as a dildo by your girlfriend. I'm late. I'm sorry. Business. Got to get taken care of.
Yeah, he's always like, "Hey, can you throw me on at the end of the mic?" Gabby strapped me on again.
Yeah.
It's a hard life. It's a hard life.
Yeah, long shift
hard.
shaft. I mean.
Don't get cocky.
Use your head.
But yeah, and like, when I started watching your material, like you're very like watchable. Like you're very like.
Thank you. Wow.
Like
thank you.
Not intimidating in real life and also like on stage, and that is good for a comic to be, because when a comic is too intimidating, it's like. I'm not going to relate to you, but I feel like what you said about wanting to be relatable, you achieved that very well.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
And like, I just feel like you're like, when I saw you in a Hathaway, I saw you were like nice and polite, but I was like, this guy's like normal guy, And
very much
it took me seeing your material to see that like you're also like when you like really show who you are, you're also like a very special guy.
Wow. Thank you.
I hope that you like this segment now.
I like it a lot more now.
Killer.
I'm so glad.
This is going to be my ringtone. I'll never answer the phone.
Fuck yeah.
It's going to go on for 3 minutes.
yeah. It's the longest ringtone.
And someone calling hears the full thing, just like, okay, this is a power move, I guess.
I never thought about the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
They hear it too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm calling a great, relatable guy. I hope he answers. Oh, man.
Okay, well, you have been a spectacular guest.
It's been amazing.
Before we let you go, please plug and promote anything you like.
Oh, thank you.
Let's do it.
I have a YouTube special coming out on May 6th called Before He Was Super, and it will also be an album, but any way that you want to consume it, please, for the love of God, consume it and share it.
I'm going to eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah.
I did on the album.
I'm going to make a cordial out of it and then mix it in some water. Make it myself.
I like that. Eat it on the
Lucas
album.
is
But
for
it's
special.
not true, Mr. Self-Deprecating.
I know.
Crushing it.
Thank you. But yeah, I also have a really fun podcast called Panic Attacking with another really great comedian, Andrew Chavone. It comes out every week, and it's about our anxieties, and we just make light of our anxieties and just joke our way through mental health. And I'm on the road a lot, so just go to StephenRogersComedy.com And I had to restart Instagram. So if you
Why?
Whoa, what happened?
they wouldn't give me reels. So I had,
God damn it.
and I was messaging them constantly. It was a whole odyssey that led to me having to start over.
Wait, no,
that did happen in the Odyssey, but that's fucked up.
Oh, I always get them confused. Which is which?
No,
like-
you had the right thing. It was
Yeah.
a whole Odyssey.
No, I opened a bag of wind and
The
then
really ad. The really ad.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
No, that's the title. The really ad.
That's great. Well, there goes Vogel laugh. But,
no, that's the real
Yeah.
title.
no. I don't care. I'm
The title is
joking.
whatever we say it is.
That's right. That's the title.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had to start over. So if you could follow me on Instagram, you'd be doing my mental health service.
Say your handle just one more time.
Stephen Rogers Comedy.
Good.
And
Nice.
it's spelled the same way as Captain America's name is
With
spelled.
a V.
Yes.
Got it.
Chris Evans.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Hot dude.
yeah.
Hotter dude on the podcast right now.
Oh, right. Oh, God. Sorry, I'm thinking about my body now. I'm
How
joking.
dare you, Lucas?
I'm joking. It's fine.
He's like, I'm joking. My body's perfect.
It is. It's great. You guys are lucky to be here for it.
Love to watch.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. I think that's everything. Yeah. Stephen
Great.
Rogers Comedy, all that stuff.
Marvelous. Gabby, do you have anything you want to plug?
I have a show on Saturday, but that is in the past if you're listening right now.
Yes, this will be coming out
Wow.
next week.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Great.
Yeah.
And come see our Anne Hathaway Presents show
Yeah.
at QED
Ooh.
on February 23rd at 9 p.m. And then I have another show that I forget, but I'm
Nice.
sure you
Love
know,
QED. Go
Hell
see
yeah.
that show. everyone.
QED rules.
It's great.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I have a couple shows like this weekend, but that will also be in the past. That is with a sketch group I'm a part of called 24 Hour Kiss Club. Check it out on Instagram as the name. There's going to be a show at the end of March, I believe. We're still working out the details, but I think we have a show there. However, I have a couple stand-up shows. One at the end of February, which is Waterline, hosted by friend of the pod, Bo Ballou, among others. And then I also have a show hosted by my friend Demetrius Fields on February 18th. Yes, so I have a couple stand-up shows. Check out 24 Hour Kiss Club. All the show information will be on my website, lukastrarnold.com.
Oh, we haven't
Right.
even mentioned, but when this comes out, it will be Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes,
wow.
of course.
Do we have any love advice for the listeners before we
Oh,
sign
yes.
off?
Great ending. Yeah.
I'm on the Waterline show with you, I think.
Oh,
Hell yeah!
I think. Anyways, love advice. Somebody told me early on that they believe love is a choice, and that always stuck with me because it's like the falling out of love thing. You're like, oh, I just don't feel it, and it's like, well, what I took out of that is it is work, and my therapist has told me, like, you're not always going to be at a 10. It's impossible to be at a 10 every day with your spouse, and that's okay. So if some days your love is at like a 6, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or they're a bad partner or any of that. It's just that's where you are that day, and there's things you can do to fix that, or if you think it needs to be fixed, or well, all that. That being said, I know nothing about love, but I'm in a very wonderful relationship, and it's going great. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm all luck. Like we were talking about how Indiana Jones wins a fight by accident. I think
Yeah.
I'm still dating Caitlin by accident.
No.
It's not for anything I'm doing.
You're such a good...
that's so sweet.
I was going to say
Yeah.
good boy, but that's not
Yeah.
That's her name for me.
I probably would not be like the best person to like give like love advice. Like I am single right now, but I heard a very good piece of advice, and I like the way it sounds, which is that a good relationship is where each person thinks they're the lucky one.
Aw.
And I think that's a very sweet. I think that's a very sweet thing. I think that sounds right to me.
That's
Oh, I love that.
that's very
Yeah.
relatable. I feel that way.
Yeah.
I think she's lucky. Wait, did I hear that wrong?
Gianmarco made a tweet recently that was like, My girlfriend just told me Valentine's Day is really important to her, so I'm excited to see what she has planned for us.
Yeah, that's good.
This week.
That's great.
Marcos
That's good.
is a great tweeter. Valentine's Day love. It's in the air, you guys. It's in the air. It's in the sky. It's in the sea. It's in your heart.
Good for all the mer people.
Good
Hell
for all
yeah.
the bird. It's in the birds, which are robots. Birds are not real.
Yes.
Love is love.
Has this been covered before?
It's an internet thing. It's just bullshit.
Oh
No
yeah,
one-
yeah. But people think that birds are. Well, how do you know it's bullshit?
Because
people
I
think,
eat birds, I eat chicken, I eat turkey, and they real, baby.
How do you know that they're not robots? People
'Cause
think
they're
birds are robots.
Because there's no wires or anything going on. They're not robots. They're real. They're flesh, and when you cook them, they're good. How do people think they're robots? I don't get it.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
That was a weird tangent I did. I don't understand the birds aren't real thing. I don't get it.
There's people who think that the government is surveilling us through bird.
And they added a feature where the bird robot just defecates on
Wait, you're right. I didn't think about that.
everybody's car. Is just so those cars you see that were under a bridge that are covered with bird poop. Are they an enemy of the state? what is this?
It's like the Red Scare. The more bird shit you find on someone's car,
Yeah.
that's how you know they're a commie.
Yeah.
It could be like one of the robots went rogue and was like, "No, I'm gonna do this my own way."
Right. That might
Oh
be.
my
Drop a
God.
deuce.
That would be a great
Drop-a-doos.
remake of Birds, though.
Oh.
Oh,
'Cause
what's
they're all
that movie with the birds?
The birds?
You know the movie? with
Angry
the-
Birds.
Angry Birds?
No,
Or-
I'm thinking of.
Happy Feet.
It's gonna kill me. There's a horror
Surf's Up.
movie
So, like-
with like all of these birds and they like attack people.
Birds.
Birds.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. The Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
Russian
Oh,
Jew. Yeah.
Damn it. You beat me. I was right there.
But there's like a bee movie that's really bad involving birds attacking people. It kind of has the same vibe as like Thanksgiving, the movie with the. Oh, you guys gotta watch this.
Thanks killing.
Oh, there's a movie with a killer turkey, and before,
Oh,
my God.
man.
before he eats people, it goes gobble gobble, motherfucker. It's pretty funny.
That's great.
That was it voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, was it?
It
Yeah,
should
it's
have
kinda-
been.
That's- I
They
would
definitely
watch
didn't have
that.
the budget, but it should have been.
I am sick of all these mashed potatoes.
And this motherfucking spread. I think that's a good place to end. Give a round of applause for Steven Rogers.
Steven
Thank
Rogers,
you.
everybody.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
such a great guest. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.